Hello and welcome back to Rock Tumbling Weekly. For those who've been following along, welcome back. It's another great week. And for those who are new to the channel, my name is Shannon and I love rock tumbling. It's my favorite hobby, and this is a weekly video journal of all of my rock tumbling projects. So I've got multiple barrels running, lots of variety, and you get to see it all in this episode. And for those who've been following along, the weather has started to feel like actually fall or winter right now. I've got my sweater on, warm drinks, it's the time for soups and stews. But at least in Texas, I can continue this hobby all winter long. I have some friends in the northern area of the US who are closing down their tumblers for the winter because while it can tumble nicely in your garage throughout the winter, doing the rinsing outside when it's snowy and icy can get really difficult and really painful for your fingers. So I'm lucky I get to tumble all winter long. That's not to say that it's going to be perfectly comfortable come January and rinsing out in the sink, but I think I'll be using some padded rubber gloves to keep my hands a little bit warmer. Anyway, we've got a good week of tumbling here to show you, and well, at least I hope. I haven't seen it yet. So let's get started. Here the Moonstone has finished a third week in course, and it's looking better. However, I'm going to have to check through all of the stones to see if they're really smooth enough to go on to medium grit or if they need a run-in course. I don't know if this one is going to make it all the way through. Given my recent experiences with things breaking up in the later stages, this bit might come off here. So, I'll put that one aside. But I mean, they're looking really good. Look at that. Adulorescence is what that's called for Moonstone. And these are looking super pretty. But as I said, I'll check through all of these. Maybe medium grit will get out some of the final little scratches in this, but I will check and see. I'm leaning towards medium, but I'm going to be a little bit more cautious on this because Moonstone can easily just break apart because of its cleavage. So, all right. Oh, this tiger eye is looking so nice. It just finished 1 week in medium grit, and it is looking divine. Oh, I'm so happy with it. Oh, there's so many beautiful pieces. Look, this one has a band of quartz running through it. And I mean, just so gorgeous. The layers on this. And they're all looking really nice after the run in medium. But as I'm becoming much more cautious these days, I'm going to check through all of these after the wash cycle to make sure that none of them look like they're about to break apart and ruin my week. But so gorgeous. Here is the Lepidolite, and it's been running in course for a while. And I just have to say, this is the strangest gemstone that I've ever tried to tumble. I mean, this is a really solid mix of Lepidolite and quartz in there. And this has been running in course for a long time, and it just still looks rough. Anyway, there's a lot of crevices still in these, and I'm going to have to run a wash cycle on it right away because it's pretty much impossible. Like, there's some slurry in that, you can see. It's impossible to get this clean just in the sink. So I'm going to run a wash cycle really quick, which is, you know, this mixture with water and about a tablespoon of mild laundry detergent or shaved up ivory. And I'll get these clean and then figure out what to do next. But the tumbled lepidolite that I've purchased has always looked weird. It's always looked a little kind of sharp edged, it had crevices in it. Like, I just thought I could do a better job tumbling it, but I just think that's the nature of the way this stone tumbles. It just doesn't get smooth. We'll see how it goes. Here we have the indigo gabbro, which, if you watched last week, broke my heart a little bit last week because a piece or two broke apart in fine grit and damaged everything in the barrel. So I took it back to medium, and it's run a week in medium, and it seems like the damage has been repaired. It's feeling smooth, not like the big chunks that I felt taken out of it last week. So this can go back into fine grit. However, as larvae and apatite and this gabbro have made me cautious, I'm going to actually examine every single stone before I put it into fine grit to make sure that, as far as that I can tell, none of them are on the verge of breaking apart. Okay, I checked over the gabbro, and I'm looking for anything that looks like it has hairline fractures in it, and I'm taking those out. So I picked out about 4 or 5, but I'll show you why this is important, because I was also checking the integrity of these to see if they would break along those hairline fractures, and guess what? One of them did. So I may have saved myself a little heartache there by removing specifically this one, but all these others from the batch. So better to be cautious. This is the batch that I have going in the repair barrel, something new that I've started up. And this is a mix of larvae and other quartzes I had that I had taken out of previous batches because they weren't quite ready for the next stage. And I will do the very same thing with this larvae that I'm doing with the gabbro. And I will check it. In fact, I see this one here. See that? It's got a crack going right through that. And that is the potential for that tip to break right off. So I'm going to take this one out. But this batch also has a mix of other things, like this really nice rose quartz and hematoid quartz, fire quartz. This is another piece of fire quartz, hematoid. Really nice. But the larvakite itself is looking really nice. Like, you know, the damage it received was repaired. And it's smooth. All of these rocks are nice and smooth and ready for fine grit. But as I said, I need to check over all the larvakite and take out any in which it looks like the structural integrity has been compromised. Nice. So this batch of blue apatite has died a horrible death. Yes. So everything looked great. Last time we had finished fine, everything looked great, and I even determined not to keep it in extra fine for that long, just 4 days. But in that time, some of the rocks broke apart and literally destroyed the rest of the batch. So they're all dinged up. See, this is what happens. What one tiny little piece of shrapnel can do to your stones. Like, I did pull out some that look fine and can be saved for polish later, but pretty much everything here has been damaged, just like the Gabbro was last week. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a brand new batch of Apatite rough and just start that over at coarse. When it gets to the right stage, I'll put some of these back in coarse to try to save some of them and then combine the rest. Like, I love this piece, and then it just got all dinged up. Man, what a bummer. So yeah, just the curse of the softer stones at the finer phases. So this is a lesson. I guess if anything looks questionable, take it out. But in my opinion, nothing looked questionable for me. So anyway, I'm going to start some new Apatite rough and then just try to work these in the stages and see if I can get a good final finished product. The Howlite has been in 4 days of fine grit, and the surface is feeling really super smooth. It's all looking really nicely. And I just love the patterns in these. They're looking really gorgeous. So these are going to get a wash cycle and then go into extra fine grit for just a couple of days before I start the dry polish process. Okay, the Citrine has been running in polish for 1 week. Let's check on that shine right now. Give it a quick rinse. And then dry. And yeah, it's got a really nice shine to it. Wow. That's nice. Here we go. Check some more. You know what? I think something happened to this batch. The citrine is really dinged up, actually. And I can... I think something might have broken in polish. And so while parts of these do have a nice shine, there's a lot of chips and dings in this. Like, nice polish, but something seems off. Like, I don't know if you can see how banged up that looks. It's really weird. Okay, so I'm going to have to rinse this out. I'm going to have to check through the whole batch to see what might have happened here, because there's something wrong. There's something off. Well, thanks for joining me on this very interesting week. Some things that were in repair are looking better, so I'm happy for that, but I really have no root cause for what happened to that citrine. But this is a hobby when you really start to trust your sense of touch. And last week, when they went into polish, those rocks were smooth, like smooth. And today they're all dinged up. Now they had adequate filler so that they wouldn't crash against each other, and I found no broken pieces in there. So I really have no idea what went wrong there. But some pieces are banged up enough that they actually have to go back to course. What I've done is I've taken some more quartz types hardness stones like carnelian and some clear quartz and amethyst, and I've added that to the barrel to make up some of that difference, because there really wasn't a lot of citrine left in the barrel. Not sure what happened, but like I said, I took it all back to course, and we'll see what it looks like next week. But that's really disappointing when something goes into polish really nice and then something mysterious happens. But yeah, oh well, we just move on to the next week. So everything's in their barrels, ready to go. I didn't show you the Howlite this week because it's in dry polish, and it really, you know, it's still got some work to do there, so I didn't show it to you. But that was this week. Hopefully it's better next week. Anyway, if you're new to rock tumbling and you'd like to see how it goes, good, bad, and ugly, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and you'll see whenever I post a new tumbling video. And I hope to see you again next week.